The NBA playoffs are here. The East is up for grabs. Will the Thunder repeat or will a new team reign? This is Kent and this is Fanatically Speaking. Let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fanatically Speaking. This is the NBA playoff episode, a preview prediction episode for itself. As it begins later this week, we got the play-in starting this week, and then everyone will get jumbled in to their seeding for the 7 and 8 seed. We already know the 1 through 6. And I'm going to go ahead and make my picks and predictions. I obviously could be wrong, and we get into the playoffs, and there'll be different teams. The question will be, will one of these play-in teams change the pick, right, when it gets to the actual playoff games? So going through, I'm going to split this up. Going to go through the East, then going to go through the West. First, though, let's go through the seedings themselves. In the Eastern Conference first. In the East, the Detroit Pistons earned the 1 seed with a 60-22 record. What a bump up from last year. They pretty much ran the East for the majority of the season. They held on to that top spot. Got a little push from the Celtics there late with the return of Jason Tatum. Those Celtics finished 56-26 and got the 2 seed. Following them, the New York Knicks and the 3 seed, 53-29. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who made the move for James Harden during the season, finished up with the 4 seed at 52-30. The up-and-coming Toronto Raptors, once we started the 5 seed, 5 to 10 was kind of a jumble, right? We didn't know where we're going to end up until really like a week left in the season, even up until the last 2 games or so. The Raptors, they finish 5 seed, 46-36, and then follow them is the 6 seed Atlanta Hawks, who also were 46-36. And at the moment, we got the 7 seed Philadelphia 76ers battling through injuries and suspensions and all the stuff we normally get from the Philadelphia 76ers. They finish up 45-37, followed by the 8 seed Orlando Magic, who are also 45-37. And right below them, the resurgence of a franchise that we didn't know had it in them. We didn't know it would happen. And they started really, really rough this season with injuries and losing. And they ended up the 9 seed Charlotte Hornets, 44-38, 25 game improvement from last year, only winning 19 games. That was due to, Con Knipple, everyone stepping up their game, maturing, and the pieces just falling in place in Charlotte. The 10 seed Miami Heat, they finished 43-39. So just focusing on the East first up and the matchups. So we can get into the play-in matchups, and I'll go ahead and make those picks and then just plug them in. So playing for let's just start with the 7 seed, right? Because the 7-8 game, its winner is the 7, loser has to play again to try to make the 8 seed. So the 8 seed Orlando Magic, they'll be going to Philadelphia to play the 7 seed Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers have everyone at the moment except Joel Embiid. He, of course, had to have his, his appendix? Yeah, he had an appendectomy. So not even sure if he's going to be available. I believe they play Wednesday night. But either way, in that play-in game, you've got Orlando, who beginning of the year, I had a lot of high hopes for. They got Desmond Bane. They have, Banchero and Wagner and Suggs. And Suggs was kind of hurt. They made some moves, but last year they had a big showing and then battled in the playoffs and thought they would be better. And here they are at the 8 seed currently in the play-in, battling for the spot. And they have to go to Philadelphia. They lost that last game of the season in Boston. And so where do the Orlando Magic fall? Sometimes they look great, and other times they don't. Philadelphia, again, do they have Embiid? Do they not have Embiid? Does it make a difference? They've got Paul George. They've got Maxey. They got Edgecombe. They got Oubre off the bench. They got everyone else, but they don't have Embiid. If they had Embiid, I think this is like Philadelphia is a dangerous team. So will he, won't he, is the question. And I'm going to go with the home team in this one, and I'm going to pick the Philadelphia 76ers to win the game. I don't believe in Orlando on the road in a one-game playoff in Philly, though they should have an advantage if Embiid is out somehow, some way. I'm just going to go with the Nick Nurse and the Philly, experience. I'm going to give Paul George a fighting chance to win a playoff game, and this is not really a series; it's the play-in. But I'm definitely, So I'm going to pick Philadelphia. That's the way I lean. I'm going Philly, which that would line up Detroit. No, that would line up Boston and Philly in the first round. To the other play-in game, so what that leaves is the Magic would lose, so they get new life. They get to play the winner of the 9-10 play-in game, which will be hosted by the Charlotte Hornets, and they'll be going against the Miami Heat. We've seen the Heat end the Hornets' win streak this year. We've seen the Hornets blow out the Miami Heat. It's always a tough opponent for Charlotte. They do have a lot of momentum. They played that last game not against the bench in New York. Not great, but again, it's a game that mattered. That didn't matter, but mattered because they had to win to keep that 9. Now, what's in play here is Orlando. So basically, here we are now still down. Now we're down to 3 teams to get the 8 seed. That would be the losing Orlando Magic out of the play-in. I've got them losing to Philly, and then the Hornets and the Heat. Because the winner of this game, the loser is going home for good, and the winner would play in Orlando. I'm torn. I want to pick the hometown, my favorite, Charlotte Hornets. That's who I want to pick. It's just something about Miami when it comes to playoff time that, I know we get tired of hearing Heat culture, but it is true. There is some truth to that. And I know the Hornets have not had this experience, right? It's been, forever. Not forever since a play-in, but play-in, playoff. The last couple times with James Borrego was head coach, it seemed like they got punked every time in the play-in by like Indiana, right? So this puts me in a tough spot. I want to believe in the Hornets. I'm trying to look through really quick at what they did with Miami. I know they split the last 2. Miami just is always one of those, you can say a rival, but they always give the Hornets trouble no matter what. You know what I mean? So they did beat Charlotte in Charlotte this year, and, of course, Charlotte did blow them out. It's very tough pick. But I am not going to go with my bias. I'm going to go with history. And history tells me that the Miami Heat will beat the Charlotte Hornets. And they will go on to play the Orlando Magic in a battle for the 8 seed who gets to battle the Detroit Pistons. Now, that game will be in Orlando. It will be a quick turnaround, obviously. Miami, though, in Orlando, should be a battle, should be a game. The in-state teams going for it. Again, who's going to win this game? Who's got the upper hand? And again, Orlando has struggled this season to me. Not that Miami has lit the world on fire. Obviously, they landed in the play-in, but it didn't matter. I don't know why they would be happy with that seeding. But they're coming in with, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. They got Jaquez, Norman Powell. They've got weapons, and they put on a pretty good show against the nobodies, and they've played pretty good, but not really. They lost 2 in, yeah. So I'm picking them to beat Charlotte, but I don't know that they can beat Orlando at home. So, I'm leaning, I'm battling, I'm on the fence. I'm going to go with Orlando in this one. Go with the home team. So with that being said, moving along with the picks. Pistons, Magic. So we're going to get Celtics, Sixers, Pistons, Magic. Good first-round matchups there, along with the Knicks versus the Hawks, the Cavs versus the Raptors. So I'm going to try not to spend a lot of time on each series because I got to move on to the next series and get a winner out of the East. The Pistons at full strength with Cade Cunningham. This is not new area. They had a good, battle last year with New York. Orlando as well had a good battle last year. I don't see any upsets here, though. I think Detroit holds firm. I give them, about a 5-6 game series here. 6 at the most, 5 at the least. Pistons, I believe, will move on past Orlando with that what would have been, Cade Cunningham, maybe the MVP, if not for his collapsed lung. Boston Celtics at full strength going against Philadelphia. Maybe Philly at this point has Embiid back. I would assume he would come back at some point. Obviously, we've seen these teams before battle it out in the playoffs. Tatum, Brown, Vucevic, White, the Pritchard. I think the Celtics, they played really well all year. They have that cohesiveness. They've added back Tatum, who is fresh as fresh can be. The Celtics will take this series, again, about a 5-6 game. Give the Sixers a game or two here or there, maybe. So I'm going chalk at the moment, Pistons, and also the Celtics. In that 3-6 is very interesting. The Knicks, originally a team that I picked to come out of the East if I had to at one point. This was like right after the All-Star break, and I'm just making picks based off of what I'm seeing. The Knicks are loaded. They have no excuse really to lose a series to Atlanta, but Atlanta has played really, really good ball in the second half, especially once Jonathan Kuminga got added into that roster and into that lineup. That young Hawks team, they're playing way better than I think most expected. I think we expected it, but it was with Trae Young and Porzingis. And then they were like, no, wait, we're going to play well with, Jalen Johnson and Daniels and everyone else. So this will be a tough series. The Knicks are no gimme. They've showed us some flashes, and then they show us nothing, right? This is a really tough one to pick. I could see Atlanta upsetting the Knicks. I could also see the Knicks winning because Brunson turns it on at playoff time. I think they got the advantage with Cat, and I think they have the advantage with Mike Brown. I would say 7-game series and give me the New York Knicks. The next one up, then we're going to go to the 4-seed Cavs and the 5-seeded Raptors. Again, another one that could be a toss-up. The Cavs have the more experienced, the better overall players and roster. They made the deal. They got rid of Darius Garland. They brought in James Harden for this moment, even though he's never won in his life. But this is why they got him. I think the Raptors will be a tough opponent. But again, another game, this one I think also 7 games, and the Cavs, they pull it out and move on to the next round. So that would set up Boston, New York, and Detroit and Cleveland. And again, both have like 7-game series written all over it. We remember last season the Celtics owned the Knicks, and then the Knicks got rid of the Celtics. Now again, Tatum got hurt. All these things happen. This year, the Celtics have played really, really well. I'm going to start with this series. And right now, I know I originally had picked the Knicks, but the Boston Celtics, I don't think you go against defending champs. I don't think you go against a fresh Jason Tatum and MVP season of Jaylen Brown. Give me the Celtics, again, 6-7 games. That's how this one will go this year. So the Celtics will move on. And then I go Detroit, Cleveland. Again, these are two teams in which you say, you're going to have to make me pick one and make me believe in one of them. The inexperienced Detroit Pistons. Again, only 1 year of experience. So at this moment, in this time, in this series, I would be, in these playoffs here, I've already got them, beating the Magic and now moving on to this next round against Cleveland to see who meets Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. Detroit is way better than I expected. They play tough. They play physical. And I think that is an advantage against a James Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs will be running up and down, running that offense, that Kenny Atkinson offense. And again, you're making me – I got to pick teams and guys that never have moved to the next round to win. The Cavs, they were right there, and they still stayed at 4 instead of moving up any more over New York, over Boston. They stuck at 4, and here they found themselves, against the 1-seeded Pistons. Long as Cade Cunningham's there, long as they got Jalen Duren, everyone else just falls into place. I will take the Detroit Pistons to win this series. Again, about a 6-7 game series, probably a 7-game for sure. 7-game series here. So the Cavs are really going to have to work, in my opinion, to get my approval to win or do anything in this playoffs. It's going to take 7 games always to either win or lose. But I'll take Detroit, and Detroit then will move on against Boston. And what else can I say? I keep saying the same thing with Boston. They've won the title with most of these guys. They swapped out a few pieces. They have played well, even being undermanned this year. And again, a fresh Jason Tatum. Give me the Boston Celtics coming out of the Eastern Conference, please. They will move on to the NBA Finals and represent the East. I gave the Pistons, I let them go as far as I could let them go. And call me crazy, call me whatever, but they got one superstar. The Celtics have 2, and then again, all that championship pedigree. I'm going Celtics. So that means then who are we getting coming out of the West? All right, let's go into the Western Conference part of the playoffs, and let me read off the seedings, and then we'll get into the picks. So here's how we finished out. The Oklahoma City Thunder finished 64-18 with the 1 seed, the defending champs with the best record in the NBA. Went through a lot of stuff this year. SGA had injury. Jalen Williams has been out. They got punked by the Spurs about 3 times. Speaking of the Spurs, they were the 2 seed. They've jumped everyone with Wemby and that squad. 62-20 as the 2 seed. Both better than anything in the East. Then we got the Denver Nuggets. This is where the shuffling started, at 3-6 range. Jokic averaging a triple-double this year. I mean, I think any other year he's hands down MVP. Really strong finish for Denver. 54-28. The Los Angeles Lakers, an up-and-down team, and they're battling their injuries, and we'll get into that. But they are the 4 seed at 53-29, followed by the 5 seed at Houston Rockets and Kevin Durant, his first year in Houston. They didn't go get a point guard, but they finished the 5 seed 52-30. See what KD and Şengün can do. Those pesky Minnesota Timberwolves, always in the Western Conference Finals. They're the 6 seed, 49-33. Ant-Man going to lead them in. And, see what they can repeat again and keep making it to the Western Conference Finals. The overachieving Phoenix Suns, they made the deal. They dealt Kevin Durant. They finished 45-37, solid in the 7-seeded spot, followed by the Portland Trail Blazers. Again, overachieved, 42-40. Really surprised me. They got a lot of pieces, and they just make it work. Helps to have a veteran like Drew Holiday. The scandalous Los Angeles Clippers. We still don't have a resolution to all their scandals with Kawhi and everything involved. And then they cut Chris Paul, didn't even let him get his farewell. Our Clippers that we love, they traded James Harden. They fall in the 9 seed, 42-40 as well. And then we got the Golden State Warriors, the ever injured and so far from championship aspirations, Clippers. Steph Curry will probably be back, and he's been banged up all year. Jimmy Butler gone all year, injured. They finished with the 1 losing record of all playoff teams, 37-45, which does mean a lot. that they're the only one. So that means that we do have a lot of teams that were good this season. There were a lot of teams that were bad. It was the first NBA season with 8 teams with 55-plus losses. That's a conversation for the tanking issue that this league has. But let's move on to the picks, and we start with the 7-seed play-in game, and that is the Phoenix Suns and the Portland Trail Blazers. Again, both, I think, overachieved. I think the Suns really impressive of what they did. They looked a lot better. I thought they would find themselves in like a 6 seed. But they're at home. I like Booker, Green, and Brooks. I like everything, Grayson Allen, everything this team does. They've been playing well above what anyone probably thought they would after losing to Kevin Durant. I don't think the Blazers are quite ready. I give the edge to the Suns of being at home. A little bit more experience with guys, even though Drew Holiday's on the other side with Portland. The rest of their crew never been there. Give me the Suns in this one. They will move on to play the San Antonio Spurs, the 2 seed, which leaves us with the Blazers, who just lost that game, and the Clippers and the Warriors. The Clippers are hosting the Warriors, and I don't think it matters. Kawhi seems to get the best of the Warriors anytime it matters most. And outside of a 50-60 game Curry performance, I just don't see the Warriors winning. I think they're done. It would be great to keep having Curry in for as long as we can have him in the playoffs. I think either one of these teams, whoever wins, would beat Portland. And I'm going to go with the Clippers, and then I will pick the Clippers to beat Portland and move on to be the 8 seed against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So those scandalous Clippers move on. And that gets us into the picks. So just starting out with the 1-seeded Thunder against those 8-seeded Clippers. I'm going Thunder. It might be a sweep. The Clippers could still win. I don't know that they will. Kawhi could just start balling out, but give me the Thunder. However many games you want, 4 or 5, they will win this one hands down. Same in the next series, the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama. They will go against the Phoenix Suns, and give me the Spurs. They're jumping line. They're jumping in line, guys. They're jumping the Wolves, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Nuggets. They jumped them all, and they pretty much own the Thunder in the regular season. But that's the regular season. But yeah, give me the Spurs. They will move on. Sweep. Won't even be close. Sweep. Then we get to an interesting one. The Denver Nuggets, the 3 seed against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle. They still got Conley, McDaniel. So what does this Wolves team? They have made the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row, including, they've been able to put out the Nuggets, right? They've been able to do that. Not everybody can say that. So this is a very tough pick because Jokic is balling. And the Wolves are always around. They're always around. Again, they always make it, overachieve in the playoffs. They get hot. Ant gets hot. They just put it together. And so that makes it a very tough pick for me. So that was not last year they put out Denver. So I just had to correct myself that OKC put out Denver. So correction, my bad. So what do we say here? Former champs, Jokic is balling out. Now he's, does the Wolves have what it takes to stop him with Gobert and Naz Reid? Do they have enough? What do the Nuggets have left in the tank here? They were able to push themselves to that 3 seed. They've added more depth to the team this year than they had, last year, even though it took 7 games for the Thunder to beat them. So where does that leave them? It's a really, 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 it's a really tough pick for me, and I have to just really look at this a little closer. I'm trying to find out one little thing that I didn't have. The Nuggets will be, full strength, right? Full strength Nuggets against the Wolves and Ant. he can take over anytime, but, so can Murray. So can Aaron Gordon add a piece. It's a very evenly matched series. I think it goes 7. And I'm staying chalk with all my playoff first-round picks. Give me the Denver Nuggets in 7 against the T-Wolves. And then we move on to a very interesting matchup. The 4-seeded Lakers and the 5-seeded Houston Rockets. The Lakers are pretty much, it's LeBron and the boys. Luka is injured. Austin Reeves is injured. So your number 1 and 2 option are out, and you're with LeBron and the rest of them, and a Luke Kennard and DeAndre Ayton and Hachimura. Is that enough? Marcus Smart. Is that enough to beat the Rockets? I know they don't have a point guard. But Ime Udoka, he's going to have them boys playing defense. KD's he's going to light it up. Şengün's going to probably dominate as well. This is the one where I go off chalk. If the Lakers were full strength, very, very tough series. You can't pick the Lakers without Luka, without Reeves, without a full staff, without a full roster. Two of their top 2 players. You just can't do it. Give me the Rockets, probably 6 games. Yeah, 6 games. Rockets win. They move on. So where does that put us? So in the Western Conference, that gives us the Spurs-Nuggets matchup, which is very intriguing. Wemby and Jokic. And you get the OKC Thunder and the Houston Rockets. So KD gets to go play against his first team. The defending champs, I think, they will handle the Houston Rockets in about 5 games, maybe 6. You never know. KD could get hot. The Rockets, I give them a shot. Give them a shot to win a game or 2, maybe. But give me the Thunder. They move on. And then the Spurs Nuggets. Very tough, very tough. Now you got they've jumped the line. The Spurs have jumped the line. Can they keep jumping the line to the Western Conference Finals? Jokic may meet his match defensively when it comes to Wemby. It will be a battle of 2 different types of bigs, 2 different types of play. And again, my bias is not going to come into play. I'm going to pick who I think is going to win. And all season long, it's been the Spurs or the Thunder in the West, and it's going to keep being the Spurs and the Thunder. Now, this game, again, give the Nuggets another 7-game series, and this one, kind of like the Cavs. You get your second 7-game series, you just can't win 2 7-game series. Give me the Spurs. I think 6 or 7 games, but probably 7. It's a really tight matchup, really tough experience, young up and coming, jumping the line. But when you have that, special, unreal talent like Wembanyama, then that's how you get to the next level. Spurs win. They go on to face the Thunder because this is the matchup we want. This is the one where the Thunder got 1 win, but the Spurs all throughout the season on the OKC Thunder. But now playoffs is a different story. What does it mean, right? What does this all mean? You can go ahead, I think, chalk it up 7 games, right? I think this is a pretty easy one to say. It's going to be a 7-game series and not even close, right? I think 7-game series. But who comes out on top? Thunder will be full squad. The Spurs, again, in my mind, coming off a 7-game series against the Nuggets, they have not had this experience. The Thunder own home court. I don't think it really matters. I could see the Spurs still in a game. They've had the recipe to beat OKC, but OKC was down Jalen Williams. So now OKC will be, fully healthy, playoff ready. They've been there before. They'll be keeping an eye on SGA, not just this game, the whole playoffs, about foul calls and stuff like that. That'll be a microscope. Expect coaches to bring that up so they can put that in the referees' ears. Again, I don't let my bias as a Spurs fan come into play. So I will pick the Oklahoma City Thunder to repeat as the Western Conference champions and win the West, go into the NBA Finals against my Eastern Conference pick, which was the Boston Celtics. Now, all of this can change, just so everyone knows. This could change, right? I mean, I'm going to update the playoffs as each series ends, but as of right now, the way I can see it, picking these games, I have to pick now, and then I'll adjust on the fly. We'll do some updated episodes, and obviously I'll do one for the NBA Finals. But as for this episode, we're still here. We're still talking Celtics Thunder based on the pre-playoff picks. Now you have two defending champions. You've got the Thunder trying to repeat, the Celtics only a few years removed from winning the title. They look a lot different. No Porzingis, no Holiday, no Horford. But that fresh Jason Tatum. They got Vucevic. They got a bunch of other guys that just like to play. Pritchard's gotten better. Derek White has gotten better. Jaylen Brown is still good. MVP caliber. The Thunder are now full strength, right? And they've had Jared McCain, right? So who wins this series? Is it the Thunder? Is it the Celtics? If there's a team that can play defense on the Thunder, then it's Boston. If there's superstars that can take over, then it's Boston. Again, but the Thunder's going to have they're going to have a little bit of a advantage, I think, at the big with Holmgren and Hartenstein. Not to knock Vucevic, but, and the rest of Boston, but, I think that's the advantage. I think defensively Boston could, you hold SGA in check as much as you can. But they've been there. They've done that. It would be amazing, right? It would be incredible to have a back-to-back champion. Are the Thunder that good? They are still in place. Now, last year, they did win. Halliburton got hurt. They beat the Pacers. They took them as far as they could take them. The Celtics are a different beast. I mentioned, the Thunder, best record in the league. The Celtics were right there, but think about what the Celtics could have been with a full team this year. They might be the 1 seed instead of Detroit. They would have won over 60 games. Even without Tatum most of the year, they still won 56. So when you match them up, you match everything up. It spells 7, it spells 7-game series, which would come down to a game in OKC in Game 7. And you would need a huge game from a star like a Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown to overcome the Thunder in Game 7 in OKC. So in this pre-playoff preview and prediction, I don't know that I knew who I was picking as I started this episode, by the way. I've been thinking about the picks, and obviously, but when you have to, feet to the fire. But yeah, 7 games. It would be a great story for Boston and Tatum coming back fresh. And again, that's a big one. He's fresh. And if he goes off, he goes off. Man, I want to pick Boston so bad. I want to pick Boston, but I'm going to go Oklahoma City Thunder. They repeat. They win a Game 7 in their home at their home court. I think the Celtics maybe just a piece away. Maybe I don't know. I don't know exactly what it would be, but I'm gonna give the edge to the Thunder. I think they pull it out. They repeat. They go back to back as champions, SGA cements himself more, his legacy, his historic run as MVP. He might end up being back-to-back MVPs. He'll definitely be in this pick, would be the finals MVP. So I'm rolling with the Thunder. No bias. I pick against my heart. I pick with my head. That's the way I'm rolling right now. Be on the lookout for updated episodes as each round ends. We may have to update picks, or each time someone loses, we'll just do I'll do episodes on the playoffs and definitely the NBA finals as they come up. So as far as the show, you can listen to the show on all podcast outlets, even on YouTube, just no video. Follow on social media, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You can keep up when episodes are available, the topics, and just stay connected to the show. Listen, share, like, follow, comment, download, all the fun stuff that you can do, especially listen and share. Remember, whatever device you listen to, just go and tap that app. And for that, in this episode, I am